Page 64, Bayou Blues. We get some blues music. They're introducing two new symbols for you to know from now on, forever and ever and ever, in addition to all the symbols you already had, because you need to know and remember all of those too. If you don't, go through it all again. Start the book again, do all the lessons again, review everything. It's really important you remember all the musical symbols. It's important you understand all these things that are on the page. First one they show is a natural sign. It is the third accidental. We've had sharps and flats are accidentals. Well, a natural is another accidental. And those are the three most common. A flat, a sharp, and a natural. They are used the most. And they're all here. You got second measure, you got a sharp, and then there's a natural. Well, the natural sign simply means play a white key. It takes away the sharp or flat. You see the rule for accidentals? Remember, it applies from that point on to the rest of the measure. So in that second measure, that first F sharp, that would make the second F sharp also. But they don't want that. They want a natural, so they have to put in a natural sign to tell you the sharp goes away. Then the natural sign would apply for the rest of the measure. So if there were another F in that measure, it would be natural. Then the second symbol is fermata. And some method books actually get this incorrect, I think. A fermata is simply a hold. You hold the note, make it sound longer than what the rhythm says to. It's held out. I've run across method books that call this a pause. It is not a pause. A pause is something else. You're not pausing. You're simply holding the note out. How long you hold it, there's no rule for that. It's felt. Look at the last measure. You see above the top staff, there's a fermata above the F sharp. And the bottom staff, each staff has to have its own fermata because both staffs got to stay together. So if one gets it, the other's got to get it somewhere. So you have one below you have one for the bottom staff also, both. It simply means you're going to hold it out because a whole note normally would get 4 counts. Here you just go get however many longer than 4. If I'm using a metronome, I'll double the value because I got to stay with the metronome. And here I would hold it for 8 counts just to stay with the metronome. That's how I do it. I do it that way. So let's look at this blues thing and see what's going on. It's a page long, treble bass clef, 4/4 time signature. I see a bunch of half notes, quarter notes, and whole notes. Okay. The hands are playing at the same time. I'm going to take this one hand at a time. Left hand starts with 4th finger on E. And again, I trust you know the names of the notes in the music by now. You don't have to write them in or nothing. And then 3, and then F sharp. Now this is a situation where we're not going to use the same finger for that because I want to connect them, and I can't. So I'm going to use second because it's handy. It's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And that's pretty much the left hand. Until you get to the end, you have an E and an A together. And that's tied. So normally you'd hold that down then for 8 counts, 2 whole notes. But with the fermata, I'm going to hold it down more like 12 counts. Because I like to count to 12. What can I say? I don't know. Right hand starts on measure 5 here. It's 1, 2. Now here we can use the same finger as the white key. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1. Get the idea? Okay. Then I put the hands together and see, and I'll hesitate at first. That's fine. I don't care. I just want to know how the fingers are working together. So start at measure 5. When they are, it's here, here, and then here, both here, a sharp and a flat. They've got different rhythms for you, and they're nice. Let's go down to the last line. Above the top staff, there's an 8/8. Okay. Remember the rules for 8/8. If it's above the staff, you go up. If it's below the staff, you go down. And it only applies to the staff it's next to. If they want both hands to move, they got to put in a note, both hands, or they got to put the 8/8 above both staffs. Here, only the right hand is moving, so the left hand is staying right there. So sometime during measure 13, when you're doing this, you got to get the right hand up here ready to go because it's here. 2, here, and then here. an E and an A. Yes, I know it sounds funny. It's blues. And then the left hand's tied. You just do that. And you get all that together. And then you'll listen to it even longer because you'll just love that sound, don't you? I'll explain that a little bit later. So once I got the hands working, then I go back over it carefully and slowly and get rid of any hesitations. Maybe just a line at a time if necessary, but no hesitations. Then I add the articulation. And in this left hand, I suggest you just connect it. They have this. I would not lift up between those. Connect it all the way through. I would connect this left hand all the way through. The right hand, you have rest. You have to lift up. So you just build in. Measure 5. Up in the right hand for the rest, but the left hand I'm connecting. Okay. Then after the articulation, I add the dynamics. We have swells. See the hairpins? Moderately soft, you go up to something, about moderately loud, and then back down. Each time you do the ba, all the way through, you're going to swell up and swell back down. Measure 5. See, it comes down. You swell up and back all the way through this. Okay. At the end, it's soft here. And then you let it die away because you're holding it out because of fermata. Okay. Then the speed. Well, you got slow blues and medium blues and fast blues. So you got, this is slow and bluesy. Bluesy, I'm not sure about that. Feel blue, I guess. But it's slow. But the half notes are going to be slow. It's this. That's what we want to feel. So the half notes have to accommodate that because the half notes are going to want to speed it up. But then when you get to the second line, it's too fast. That's not slow. So you have to decide on the second line how fast you want this. Figure that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Nice and slow. Then do that on the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then keep that. I let my wrist bounce on each one because it helps keep me at the same speed. Because there's a problem in music, we all suffer from it, and that is we all have a natural speed. A natural speed we just want to go. And when the music wants us to go slower than that, we'll tend to speed it up. And when the music wants us to go faster than that, we'll tend to slow it down. So here, this is too slow. We want to go faster than that. So chances are you'll start out this speed, but by the time you get to the third line, you've sped it up. So we have to be aware of that and focus and keep that speed the same. And one of the ways I do that is I let the wrist bounce on each beat. It helps me feel the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Helps me feel the beat. I'm exaggerating so you can see it better. It's really a very small motion, but I'm still feeling it and doing it. Now, the last two measures, they have a pedal indicator. They want you to hold the pedal down. And here you hold it down, push it down right after you play the notes here. Now keep it down and let that just kind of die out a little bit, and then everything comes up together. And this is very common in blues music. At the very end, you're going to get a dissonant chord, a seventh chord of some kind, some sign, some sort of a dissonant chord. It's a something, and that's sort of what we've done here. They've got this chord. That's sort of what the chord is, although we rearranged the notes and we're not using the E. And that's sort of what this is. And that's what you're hearing, is this seventh chord at the end. So it's very common in blues where they'll let that seventh chord at the end ring out. And on piano, we pedal it to give it the overtones. So that's really what they're doing. I'm not going to show pedal if that's all they're doing. I want to talk about pedal more when we really start using it, because I'm a believer in if you don't need pedal, don't use it. That's just one way it might go. You don't have to go that speed. You experiment and see what you think. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. Slow anyway. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I will do the pedal at the ends because we need to hear all of these notes at the end to really get the full sound. We have to have them all. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, off.